The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
And we are live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios. We are playing Mage the Ascension Neon Tempest tonight for the Game Pink charity, which is for National Breast Cancer Foundation. We are raising funds. We actually reached our $1,000 goal on Sunday in Windy City After Dark. Thank you, everyone that contributed to that. We are now above it and are $15 shy from getting a seventh person in need a mammogram. Let's see if we can't raise some more charity tonight playing an awesome TTRPG. And now I'm going to hand it over to the storyteller to introduce himself.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Mage. I am the Ravnos Archon on Twitch. You can call me Will. I am the storyteller this evening. I am pleased and honored to be here as always. And let's go around the table and make sure that we know who we are before I go into what happened last time, because one of us wasn't here.
I am Relindare, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and tonight I'll be playing Lydia Thompson, a mage of the Cult of Ecstasy.
Good evening, I am Ben Nix, and I'll be playing John Baker of the Euthanatos tradition tonight.
My name is Brad, or Temper Brad 411 in chat, and I'll be playing Alistair King, a member of the House of Cryamon under the Order of House Hermes, Order of Hermes.
Good evening, I am the Ivy Raven, and I will be playing Anita Maple of the Verbena tradition.
I hope she doesn't really need a maple though. Been waiting 3 episodes to make that joke. Last session, we got to meet Vasily Vasily Yadovich from the first season and see where he is currently at his club called Now, because he got kicked out of the limelight. Hostile takeovers are terrible things. But the group managed to get a suitcase of cocaine and some weapons to help them on their quest currently, including grenades for some reason. Like, you're going to need them. Ricardo used his life sphere to kind of ruin any enjoyment that Vasily is going to get from food or drinks for quite some time moving forward. But he did ask the group for a couple of favors, either or, not a list, but he asked him to kill Daniel, who was the leader of the Cabal in the first season, to deal with the Russians at the Limelight, or to kill the guy in charge of the Biltmore in exchange for the weapons. Quid pro quo, as it was. Luckily, though, Anita did get to use her wonder on Vasily and managed to get an image of the moment of his death, which is that he will be killed by 3 bullets, 2 in the chest and 1 in the throat, in some terrible, dingy hotel somewhere on Miami Beach. They went down Chrome to the mental health facility, as it is called, and got to meet Daniel. And they also got to meet Bashir Toussaint, who was the Cabal's kind of lead and spiritual advisor. And he led them into the Umbra, where they saw a 6-legged kind of tiger, lion, cat creature observing them and sizing them up, and saw that it could dredge up spirits of the past in its wake, bringing up 3 of John's ghosts from the past and kind of traumatizing him in the process. But everybody kind of walked away from the situation unscathed for the most part, physically at least. And we left off with kind of everybody going their separate ways to mull over what's been happening, what they've seen, what they've experienced. And as such, we're going to pick up, as all of this was going down, with Alistair. As everybody was meeting that morning at Coconut Grove, that little park out by the bay, I imagine most of it got glossed over in the wake of whatever binge you went on the night before. And as the plan is being set in motion, you suddenly hear the sound of a baseball game being narrated. Somebody's rounded first and headed for second. It starts to draw your attention because you hear a moan from the radio, and in the distance you see, maybe about 100 feet away from you, is an ice cream truck with this 2-deck, tape deck, bungee corded and twined to the window of the ice cream truck, where there is just this long-haired, skinny kid kind of just head bobbing to this baseball score reading. And you hear the announcer talk about the kid making moves and how he's rounding second and heading for third. And you can swear that you hear a whispered, "Oh, did I hurt you?" And you're wondering just what is actually going on. And as you step towards it, the fever pitch is rising. The announcer is just excited that this kid is stealing home. And then you hear the powerful female vocal come in. "Stop right there." And before you go any further, you immediately understand that you've been listening to Paradise by the Dashboard Light off of Meatloaf's first album, Bat Outta Hell, songs written by Jim Steinman. And the music kicks in, the whole situation of her asking him to prove that he loves her. And you start to turn around kind of with half smile on your face. I think this is one of Alistair's either not favorite song, but definitely either a what's it called? The songs that you don't really admit to liking.
Like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. But as you turn around, the group is gone. Anita, Lydia, Ben, Elias, Ricardo, everyone's just gone. And as you turn back around, the music fades to nothing. The park and the bay are gone. And all that's left is the rural backdrop of where you grew up.
Fuck.
And you turn back around and you see the dragon just kind of flop down out of nowhere and just start to cough up these liters of water. Almost like he had just been pulled out of some body of water and almost drowned, and just regurgitating, just kind of undulating its throat as these buckets of water are coming out of its mouth. And you hear your dad in the distance. I better see some goddamn chores being done. And you are brought back in your apartment. You don't know how you got there. You don't know where or how or why this happened, but it is nighttime.
Fuck. Like, instinctively, I think Alistair would check the clock next to his bed just to figure out if it's like the same night, or like if it's, you know, he's trying to get a sense of where he's at, just because he's lost days before, but he knew they had stuff they were supposed to be doing.
What kind of clock would he have by his bedside? Is it one of those kind of ticker down, the LEDs?
I would imagine for him it would have been probably something cheap that he found in like a pawn shop or something. Okay. More utility than anything else.
Yeah. You turn to look at it just as the long hand hits the 2, signifying that it's about 9:10 in the evening. But the little calendar marker still says the day that it is supposed to be. It is Saturday.
So I've lost a matter of hours, not necessarily like a matter of days.
Correct.
Okay. And this is all the same day that like we met up with Ricardo and we kind of made it the whole idea. Okay.
Yep.
So I imagine after that, and then everything that happened the day, Alistair would... Nothing about the other people that were there, the other awakened, necessarily like strikes him as being able to, or maybe I guess not necessarily wanting to do the like darker stuff, but Alistair definitely through his past has kind of stepped over the veil once or twice, whether on accident or on purpose. And I think he would want to, he's just got a sense of wanting to see if he can maybe go back to the scene, and then see if he can maybe like reach out to the spirits and see if the people who died are still there, or maybe even wandering spirits, just to see if maybe there's like an idea on that end of what happened.
Sure. You make your way over to Miracle Mile. It is bumping on a Saturday night. The John Martins is packed. People are piled out onto the sidewalk. It's so busy. The theater across the street is letting out. People are kind of meandering about, trying to figure out what to do, where to eat. The restaurants are pretty packed. The coffee shop is also jumping. life is in full swing here.
And is there any evidence that 4 people exploded into goo here
If
a few hours ago?
if there was, it's gone now. Like there's no police tape, there's no investigating, there's no crime scene, there's just street life.
This fucking city. So Alistair, I imagine, would reach into his fanny pack for something that he can take that will make the process a little smoother for him.
You're gonna do it out in public, or you're gonna find an alley?
It would be in an alley.
Okay. So yeah, you take a bump, do a hit, whatever it is that is the flavor of the month for you, and you can start to feel it almost instantly. Like you know that if you had any real control over life, that you could enhance this so much more. But because of your control of mind, you instinctively know how to prepare yourself for the floodgates, and you start to open them. You're gonna pull on some spirit.
Yeah, and then on as sort of just because having done this before, he's just gonna kind of sit against the wall, like as all of this is happening, because I imagine he's fallen over once or twice doing this. And then just so nobody bugs him, he'll pull like a little hip flask out of the fanny pack, so everyone will just assume he's sitting down and having a drink. But yeah, I'm gonna reach out and try to communicate with the spirits.
How long do you want to concentrate on this effect? Do you want it to just be quick, or do you want to kind of garner some rolls to make this last?
I would imagine it wouldn't be necessarily like a quick, because if there's an opportunity for some communication and maybe getting some information, either from the recently departed or the restless, that he would be able to kind of like pursue that. So I don't imagine it would be a quick thing.
Okay. So how many rounds do you think that you would sit there letting this drug take its effect, take its course, sipping from the flask here and there?
I would imagine. So in Mage, what in theory is the length of a round? Is it like the traditional 6 seconds?
It's a traditional 6 seconds, but with doing effects, it kind of stretches a bit so that a round is more of anywhere between like 30 seconds to a minute. So because you're trying to pull on the Tellurian, you're trying to garner more successes than you would for just like a snap cast. So it's a little bit more, it doesn't take the round into effect as it normally is understood. It just kind of like, how long do you want to spend garnering successes is the real question.
I would say, I imagine he wouldn't want to do it more than 2 or 3 rounds, just because I imagine he's had some close calls with drugs he's taken in the past where anything longer than that on top of reaching out to the spirits is a little too long for him.
Yeah.
So I would say at most 3 rounds.
Okay. So you sit down for a couple minutes, you kind of breathe in and out. And by the time you take your first swig, that'll be when the effect kicks off. So let's have you make 3 separate reach rolls, arete rolls.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to actually physically talk to them. So that's going to be Spirit 2.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be difficulty 5.
So am I doing just the arete?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's just arete 3 times.
Four
4 total successes.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can spend 2 of them to give you the whole scene covered as far as time is concerned. The other 2 you can split up on the number, either between the number of people that you can see or the number of questions you get to ask.
I think instinctively Alistair would immediately go to where he thinks he saw Sarah.
Mhm.
And he would ask them 2 questions.
Okay. So you want to split them up so you can see a few people and you get at least 2 questions out of each of them.
Yeah, I kind of want to see like everything that happened. And try and get more of a sense of, I guess, kind of who exploded where.
Yeah. You start to stumble down the street. There's a couple people that kind of move out of your way. There's one couple that kind of bumps into you, and the guy kind of says something to you in Spanish. But you go over to where you thought you saw Sarah, at the middle of the intersection in that little island between the 4 lanes of traffic. 2 going east, 2 going west. And she's there. She's sitting on the bench. And as you approach, the visage of this wraith changes. And it's not her.
What
She looks up
brings
at you.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, she looks up at you. And you see the body of this young girl who maybe looks about 16, 17, maybe 18, suddenly discorporates in this very massive explosion, and then it comes back together again. And her face again takes on a new visage, an even different visage from before. And she kind of looks up at you, she cocks her head. Says, "You can see me."
I can. What brings you to this intersection?
She points down the street. She's like, I live over there. I was coming to have lunch with a friend and over there. And she points to John Martin's, which is a Irish Scottish pub that's been there for maybe 20, 22 years now at this point. It's a staple of the mile. His name is David. And that gives you a bit of the heebie-jeebies, that kind of sensation of somebody walking over your grave.
Well, because it's someone who I thought was my sister saying she was meeting somebody who has the same name as my brother.
Correct.
I have not taken enough drugs for this. What were you and David supposed to be talking about today?
Is it still today? It feels like
Yes.
it's a different year. I think David was going to talk about how his father passed away recently. I think he just needed somebody to talk to. Life's been rough for him.
I mean, I have no more questions, so
You can see that she continues to talk to you, but you just can't hear her. And there's a moment where her body again discorporates. It just explodes.
right before she, like, as she looks like she's starting to fade, I think he would reflexively like reach out to touch her, which he could do.
It is cold. There is sadness there. And you are suddenly flooded with an image of you and Sarah drawing some farm animals.
Alistair would try to shake it off, put the flask away, and try and like stagger his way back to the sidewalk, like right up back to where he was sitting, and just kind of wait for everything to sort of even out before he tries to like get up and walk. And then I think he would go looking for a payphone.
Right. You can see a payphone on the corner, and as you start to approach, some of the shadows start to pull together, and you see this monstrous creature, just kind of like a tattered hoodie that the sleeves reach down and just are stripped away into this triangular claw-like tatters, and it just floats there about eye level with you, even though there's nothing inside this collection of cloth. And you just hear,
Me?
and one of the arms stretches out towards you.
Yeah, instinctively he would try like backing away from it.
Yeah. And you bump into somebody who is walking right behind you, and they say something to you in Spanish. One of the girls in the party kind of starts laughing. And the creature steps forward again.
Yeah, Alistair is now in the process of sobering up and definitely has not done enough drugs to deal with this. And is going to be making his way away from here. Yeah, he's trying to get away from whatever the fuck this spirit is. Is it something I would have seen in the past, or is this just completely new to me?
It is these kinds of spirits you would have seen, but at a distance. None of them have ever approached you before. And having talked to what's his name? Marcus? No. Victor. Having talked to Victor, he calls them boogeymen for Shanky and everybody else that knows Wraith. This is a specter.
Oh, I know what that is. Yeah, no, Alistair is trying to get fucking away from this.
Yeah. And it follows you until the scene ends and the power just wears off. All the while, anytime that you kind of take a moment to rest, you just hear that creepy, low, guttural "you."
And as Alistair is running sort of like in response, like more so to himself, but not like definitely partially to the specters, it would be not yet.
Yeah. And with this, we will jump to Wednesday, October 30th, where all of you are going to receive a invitation to a place, no name, but the address just says Northwest 14th Street and 14th Avenue. The time is midnight. But because we're jumping from Saturday to Wednesday, I do want to know if anything is going on with you individually as you guys are trying to come to terms with what's happened, as there have been a series of drownings that have taken place in the city, all on Tuesday, the 29th. And as of right now, the names that have been given are Andrew White, Anastasia Alder, Melanie Harris, Maria Andrea Costas, Fernanda Negron, Vladimir Anatoly Sidorov, Lydia Sampson, Jonathan Tasker, Juanita Antonia Cruz, and Bradley Springs.
So I know for Alistair, once he was done with everything, he would still want to make that phone call.
To the family?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it was like, even though the Wraith or the maybe sister keeps kind of going back and forth, the fact that they're talking about David and her and the dad, it's as much as he doesn't want to have this phone call, he needs to know.
okay. So we'll come back to you and your phone call. Let's start off with Lydia, since I think you were the most vocal about trying to call your brother.
Yeah. Since she's going to have to wait until Ricardo gets the information on the voodoo priestess or whatever she is, Lydia is going to, when she gets home after dropping everyone off in the cab, going to call her brother. She's going to call Bobby.
Okay. Phone rings a couple times and you hear a little girl's voice. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
It's Lydia.
And Lydia.
Yes. How are you, sweetie?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Is your daddy or mommy home?
Yeah, hold on. And you just hear the little girl scream, Daddy! And the heavy footfalls come over. You hear the phone exchange hands. Hello?
Bobby.
Liddy.
Yeah. How are you?
Good. How's everything over there?
It's been crazy down here. I mean, you've seen news reports. You know it's been crazy down here, but...
It's a drug haven.
Well, you know, I don't do that mess, but... It's all right. It's all right. How are you doing?
Yeah, you know. Same old. Just, it's been rough recently a lot. I was let go, so I'm waiting on a phone call.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, I won't keep your phone tied up long, but I talked to Mama yesterday.
Oh.
She didn't sound good, Bobby.
Yeah. I think you didn't hear this from me.
All right.
But Dad and I think it's cancer.
Shit.
It's been rough.
Y'all need me to come home?
I mean, not yet. especially not if you're making do over there on your own.
I'll be all right here, but she told me you talked to Eric.
Yeah, he son of a bitch finally got over you. You know, he started seeing some waitress at the Rib Shack called Melanie.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you remember her. I think you went to school together.
Yeah, I remember Mel.
Yeah.
She's a nice girl.
Yeah. She should be good for him.
I think so too. Well, I'm happy for him. Truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
You know, he pined for a long time, that one.
I know.
We all got our paths to lead, though.
That we do. Well, I'm glad that he's happy. So, he was just calling to let you know, or what was up with that?
No. We talk once a week. You know, we get together, have a beer.
Okay.
If you see him down there, you let me know.
Why would I see him down here?
He was going on vacation down there. Wanted to get away from cold weather for a little bit. Took Mel.
Really?
Yeah. First couples trip.
Huh. How long
Real
ago
excited.
did he leave?
Monday. I remember I dropped him off at the airport. I got to work and I was handing my severance. And
Well, shit, Bobby. I'm sorry that happened to you.
so, you know, it was an up and down day.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep my eyes open for him.
All right. You all right down there? You need any money?
No, I'm good. I'm actually doing all right. I've got a gig, and my studio is doing pretty well. So.
Oh, fancy.
No, not yet, but I'll make it there eventually.
All right.
All right. Well,
Good talking to you.
yeah, you give me a call if something changes with Mama, okay?
Yeah, you'll be the first one on the phone.
Thank you, Bobby. Give everybody my love.
Yeah, same.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Phone goes dead.
Fuck. She hangs up the phone.
Okay. Got a few days to figure out what to do with yourself.
Yeah, at some point over this, she's going to a memorial at the Limelight for her friend, the guitarist. That was Yuri. And while she's there, she's kind of checking the place out. Because it was something that Vasily brought up.
There's a little foyer with a desk where your ID is supposed to get checked. Nobody's there to check it, though. There is this older, thin, frail-looking Russian male with a little lockbox that is a kind of till where he's charging people $5 cover charge. Inside, there is the DJ booth. Off to one far wall, there is just an empty space of a dance floor. There is a crescent-shaped bar that is concave so that the dip of the crescent is pointed outwards. So it kind of looks like it's a reverse bar. And in the distance, you can see the hallway that leads to the bathrooms, and there's also the door marked office, which is where you would imagine Vasily would have claimed his stake from before. Right now, there is kind of somber, slower music being played, so Hall & Oates' Private Eyes is playing right now. small gathering
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah. Lydia definitely gives her condolences and sympathies to his fiance.
Mhm.
And basically stays long enough to be appropriate and then leaves.
Okay.
I think after that, she's going to go home and take a nap.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Dream on that.
Oh. What skill are you trying to call on for the next foreseeable future?
I think actually I want my avatar to give me a little bit of a boost with stealth.
Okay. So you go home, you go to sleep, and you're shown an image, a set of images. It's almost like a 16th century tapestry being woven in front of you. And it starts to move. You see this very beautiful, fair, long-haired maiden trying to get away from some would-be suitors, almost like Odysseus's wife. And you start to see the work that she puts into not being spotted, to walking very quietly, to hiding in the shadows and behind things, just to make her life a little bit easier so she can get out into this beautiful foliaged garden that overlooks some bay and the city beneath it, and just what looks like the Parthenon. And then the dream ends and you wake in your apartment. It's the next day. It's maybe 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And there's a couple of swan feathers.
She'll pick them up and actually put them in a vase where other swan feathers are.
Yeah.
And with 2 dots in Dream, how much does that give me in my stealth?
I believe that's dot for dot. You
Dot
have
for
2
dot. I
more.
have 2 dots,
2
in
dots and
stealth.
stealth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I will do over the course of those 3 days.
Okay. Let's shoot over to Anita. How are you handling the events of the Umbra, the events that have transpired?
Anita's kind of just like, this is really fucked up. That cat thing was fucking weird. And yeah, she's not really sure because she's never gone over or seen something quite like that before. So it was a totally different experience. She's actually probably been kind of meditating and like trying to run through all of her training and different things that she's done and things she's interacted with, and trying to figure out if any of that sounds like it lines up with what she's experiencing now in Miami. Just because since it isn't quite Tuesday yet, she hasn't heard about the drowning death of one Anastasia Alder. So she's thinking that she doesn't know what the fuck's going on, but she's just like, this whole situation has gone sideways, and if she can find, if she's I guess she's wanting to tap into all of her everything she has access to. She's also probably been trying to like reach out to her avatar when she's sleeping to try and get if the avatar has ever interacted with something like this, because, and not necessarily the Umbra thing, but just like the whole thing, because it's a lot, and she's wondering if it's time. She's in her head, she's thinking like, am I better off just saying screw it and paying somebody, get the bike fixed and get the hell out of Miami? So
it is a rough go of things, and it isn't until Monday evening going into Tuesday that you finally have a dream where Agatha kind of makes herself known to you. You are underneath this beautiful, large, weeping willow of a tree. And she's in a rocking chair. And you can see that 3 of the large roots have been upturned behind her. There are still 4 that look like they've dug deep into the ground. But you can see that the earth has unsettled around 2 of them. And there's just the creaking of the rocking chair as she slowly goes back and forth. You have questions, child?
Yeah, if you can see the things I see or interact with, have you seen anything like this before? Because I don't know what's going on, and it seems to be really bad. I know the implications, which were being told that a vampire was now a mage, or a mage again, is a lot to take in, but I don't understand why. Well, myself and the others that I've been interacting with have been drug into this, so.
She continues. Just a simple back and forth. There is a storm coming, but not one of rain or thunder or lightning. One of spirits and ghosts and monsters from beyond.
That's not hopeful. I mean, it's helpful. It's not hopeful. I already saw something from quote unquote beyond, and it was enough to, I don't know.
She stands up. She crosses to you. There is something in the city, something that has brought this once vampire, something that is moving another vampire. And then she turns back and sits down, and with a very stern, very cold look, no smile, no warmth of any kind on her face, she just says, "Nefandis." And then she waves her hand at you, and the dream is disturbed, and you awaken sweating.
Oh. Well, I guess it's going to be she's trying to like get her brain kind of back down again some because but she's going to try and just go back to sleep because she's like, is this if it's early close enough to day, she'll probably just say screw it and just get up and start moving around. But if it's still like 2 a.m, she's gonna try and go back to sleep. So
it's about 4, a little after 4.
Okay, if it's like 4, she's actually going to go for a walk then, because she can get that like pre-dawn. She's gonna walk towards she's gonna head towards the direction the sun will be coming up. So she's gonna start heading east, so that she can watch the sunrise. So
sure enough, you get to see this beautiful red and yellow and orange of the day start to climb up out of the black and blue and purple of evening, and it starts to wash away the darkness. But there's still that sweat, there's still that anxiety sitting in the pit of your stomach. You've never heard that word before that she said.
yeah, she's just thinking about how she's gonna have to ask her new friends if they've heard it before, since it seems to be something outside of her knowledge base. So
if nothing else, you will have your Tuesday announcement of the drowned people. Some were found along 67th Avenue. 4 in particular. The rest were kind of scattered around the western side of the city. But one, Anastasia, is definitely one of the roots.
is there pictures, or is there like, can I like get a cab and go to or like a coroner's office or something to ask to help identify the body or verify? I because just a name alone.
Right. You could try to go to the coroner's office, the city coroner. You're not family, so they wouldn't really want to let you in. Do you want to try to make a charisma and subterfuge roll? Or do you want to try to manipulate your way in with a manipulation performance?
I'd have more dice with manipulation and performance, but I think I'm gonna do that one.
Okay.
Try to anyway.
Sure. I'd say difficulty 7.
Oh boy. Okay. So I just rolled the 3 dice I have.
Yeah. What are your? Let's
I
see,
have
what's
2 in manipulation and 1 in performance. So
then yes, it is 3 dice.
2 successes.
Okay. The coroner, the agent at the counter kind of looks at you, looks down at the paperwork. It's like, I mean, we're only supposed to allow family.
I completely understand, but her family's back in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And I guess they just moved to Maine. So I'm the closest person. I told her family I would call and let them know, if I heard anything about Anastasia. And so we're all really close knit. And if they're going to hear it from somebody, I want them to hear it from me. So
do you have a Massachusetts ID?
Yeah, she has her like driver's license.
Okay.
So, because
he looks at it for a second, trying to figure out how to read it compared to like the Florida license. And he's like, oh, I mean, yeah, let me just make a copy of this. And
it's perfect. Like I said, no offense to you all. I don't want her family, if it is her, to get a phone call and, so from somebody they don't know.
He goes, he makes a photocopy of it. He comes back. He gives you the ID. All right. Come on. We're in Salon 3. And he buzzes you in, leads you down the hallway to a big number 3 at a set of double doors. And you can see that there are the 16, like the 4x4 large holding refrigerators that you would see in typical kind of cop dramas. And he opens one up and he pulls out the tray and he unzips it, and it is in fact Anastasia.
Okay. Sir, can I have like just a minute just alone? Or if not, I understand, but I just would really appreciate it.
He looks at his watch. He's like, yeah, 1 minute. And he steps out.
Okay. As soon as he steps out, I want to try and use magic on this to see if I can tell if there's anything going on with the janky with the body, I guess.
Sure.
So I don't know if I have anything that would be useful for that though.
You got life, you have entropy, and you have spirit, so you could feasibly.
I'm mostly just wanting to see if it just seems like something crazy happened, if something paranormal happened to the body and not just this individual was drowned.
Oh yeah, you have Prime 2, so you could easily see if something was done to her. So go ahead and roll your arete. Your tattoo works for Prime as well?
Yeah, I have a Prime tattoo.
It's going to be difficulty 5. Nobody's in the room with you.
Okay, I have 2 successes then. If 5 counts. If not, I only have 1 success.
Yeah. Meter beat.
Okay.
There is hinky shit afoot. She did not drown naturally.
Can I tell what kind of hinkery, or is it just general like?
It is mostly general. Just what's on hers is definitely some residue of some pull on the tellurium, but without being able to see where she died, you can't really see just how far the hinkiness goes.
Okay. I'm going to zip the bag back up. I'm going to push it back in. I'm going to walk out into the hall and say, "Thank you so much, sir."
He nods. It's all right.
Where did they find her again?
I don't think I'm allowed to give you that information.
Oh, okay. I understand. Well, are you sure? I mean, her parents are going to ask me to lay some roses for her, and when I tell them, and
he goes back. He leads you back to the front. He grabs some of the paperwork. He's like, it says that they found her off of Flagler. In 60-second, somewhere around there. That's the best I can do for you.
Oh no, that's more than enough. You've been such a great help. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Bye.
And Anita's gonna walk out, and depending on where she is in the city, she might just start walking instead of getting a cab. So she's not gonna go directly there or anything. She's gonna start kind of wandering because she's kind of brain. So
sure. It takes you the better part of a couple hours to just meander your way over there. But you can see that there is a crime scene set up. There's tape around what looks to be a late model sedan, the inside of which looks like it was filled with water.
Anita's not going to like stop and gawk. She doesn't want to be the look. She doesn't want to look like she's being a pure looky loo.
Mhm.
But is it possible for her to kind of just check with Prime again to see if it seems like it's the scanning right, just to kind of see what's happened, or no?
Sure. It's going to go up to difficulty 6 this time because there are sleepers around.
Okay. Are they going to tell that I'm like doing something if I'm just kind of like wandering around? Or
No, they're not, but reality is.
oh, okay. I didn't get any successes.
Okay. So you kind of blink hard for a moment. Your finger traces the tattoo as you're used to doing, and there's something different here. Like you don't see any hinkery. There's no level of hinky shit. There's just the car that looks like the inside, at least, was pulled out of a river because there's still kind of puddles of water on the undercarriage where the kind of feet rest is and things like that.
She'll go over like a block and hail a cab so she can get back across town to where her stuff is, or her bike and stuff at the YMCA. So
yeah.
But I was gonna say I don't think there's anything else I wanted to do. So
okay, so we'll jump to Ben. Poor John, who has been traumatized by the loss of his friend Sam Davis. What is the first thing that we get to see John do once you are returned to your apartment?
You'll see him sitting in a chair, open bottle of scotch, and the disassembled pieces of his pistols. He's drinking heavily and assembling and reassembling and disassembling his pistols, cleaning them, going through the same motion over and over and over again. In his mind, he's trying to make sense of what the memories that don't line up.
About halfway into your third drink, and you're drinking these neat or on the rocks?
Neat.
Okay. About halfway into your third drink, you hear what sounds like footsteps coming from the bedroom. Smaller, rushing, just 6 quick tap, 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 tap.
All right. He grabs the assembled of his 2 pistols, slaps a clip into it, stands up, and kind of. He's still relatively steady. He's only in his third, so and kind of meanders that way. Cocks the chamber.
The door to the bedroom is slightly ajar. It's dark in there. Nothing seems to be moving, though.
He moves to the side of the wall next to the threshold, switches his gun to his left hand, reaches around and clicks the light switch on the wall on the inside, keeping the wall between him and the room until it's lit.
On the far side of the room, just barely visible from the sliver that you have opened from the doorway, you see a child for a split second, and then it vanishes.
Tilts his head. No, I haven't had that much yet. Opens the door a little more. Edges into the bedroom. Does a quick scan of it.
Nothing there. The sound of the bottle hitting the ground and cracking back from the living room pulls you away from the room for a moment.
He whips around back to the wall, gun pointed into where the bottle was.
Just looks like it fell off of the table.
Sai shakes his head, starts walking back towards the couch. Gives the living area one more quick look around before he sits down again.
The second your rear hits the cushion, you just hear, John.
Looks over his shoulder.
Nothing.
Nothing. God damn, I'm going crazy. Puts the gun back down. Looks around. Finds a napkin or something on the table, a piece of paper. Pen. Starts sketching out 3 arrows. Writes Dan over one of them, Russians over the next, and Biltmore over the third. Pulls out his coin. Gives it a flick and a spin over the paper. Entropy, trying to see what the best course is for the best outcome.
You have a focus for entropy?
That is the coin.
Nice. So go ahead and roll your arete. It's an entropy 1 effect because you're not manipulating fate. You're letting fate show you where you should go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficulty 4 then.
And that's a wash.
Really?
Rolled a 1 and a 9.
No.
Yep. Hit me, reality.
Oh, so the coin spins and spins, and you see that it is about to land either on the Russians or the Biltmore. And again, you hear a little boy from the bedroom, John. And you hear the coin fall onto the floor completely off of the paper. And it just lands heads.
Scoops up the coin. Grabs the gun again, puts in the belt of his pants, puts the coin back in his pocket. He walks to the bedroom. All right, if you got something to say, go ahead and say it.
You don't see anything, you don't hear anything, but you do feel a little hand, like a little child's hand, like maybe a 8 or 9-year-old's hand, just kind of suddenly slide into the emptiness of your right hand and just squeeze.
Looks down.
Nothing there except what looks to be 2 sneakers, 2 little kids' sneakers.
Oh, the fuck. Do I recognize the sneakers?
They look like yours.
Is the presence of the hand still there?
No.
Okay. Fuck. So, I have a game question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I communicate with my avatar, or does he just show up when he feels like it? He's got an avatar too.
You can try to induce communication with your avatar.
All right. What do I do?
Mm-hmm. let's how do you want to try to do this? There's different ways.
Given that he learned most of his stuff probably in the Far East, he's probably gonna walk over, get into some approximation of a lotus position, and start going through Kujian hand positions to get into a meditative state, focusing on the intention of making contact with the sergeant as much as he hates to fucking do that.
Yeah. Let's have you do a stamina and meditation roll.
Okay. That'll just be a stamina. He doesn't have meditation.
Oh. So. And we'll say that it's...
He does anyway.
Yeah, we'll say
No,
it's
he doesn't.
difficulty 6. It's not difficult, but it also shouldn't be easy for you to...
I'm going to spend a willpower so I at least get one success.
There you go. Oh, the rolls are rough today.
Yeah.
I blame
me.
Yeah, I blame Urian. He's in the chat. So you sit down, you start going through your hand motions, you start to try to find just some inner peace. And after a moment, you can feel the heat of the jungle. You can hear the kind of crickets, the sounds of Vietnam that you have tried to push away. And you can hear the heavy footfalls of the boots behind you. What do you want, maggot?
Never thought I'd be here calling you, but I got issues. I got pieces in my head that are missing, and I got shoes showing up and little kids' voices. You know anything about this?
Called the haunting, Baker.
Why in the hell am I being haunted?
You got issues you need to resolve.
So how does that relate to all of what's going on here? If
You
you
can
don't mind.
you can hear the leather of the boots stretching as you can imagine this taller than average drill sergeant just kind of coming down into a squatting position behind you. Seems to me that you've been carrying some loads. I can name them for you if you like. Miller, Cooper, Davis. And the second he says Davis, your body shudders. You hear a little boy laugh. It's a familiar laugh. You know that laugh. But you can't picture it. You can't picture him.
So what do I do about it?
You got to go looking for him. You got to find him. Put back the pieces that have been taken from you.
So can I find this here, or do I have to go across through one of those gates again or something like that?
Yeah, you're going to have to go back. You enjoy that too. And you hear, again, the leather stretching as you can feel him getting back into a standing position.
Back? You mean back to those trees?
I went back into the place where you lost him. You're going to have to go spirit diving.
I don't know the first thing about that.
You didn't know the first thing about killing either when you came to me. Now look at you.
Yeah.
Stone cold.
All right.
You got work to do, Baker. Hop to it.
Sir, yes, sir.
And with that, you come out of the trance and you see an outline of a little boy, maybe 9 or 10, just shy of 4 feet, but it's static. There's no real image of him that you can make out. But you see his hand outstretched towards you, and you hear him call you, "John, come on. We gotta go." And
He reaches his hand out to try to touch the child's hand.
and you see the static just suddenly explode, and the whole room is filled in that gray, black, white, that sound of a TV, that white noise just reverberates back and forth from the walls until it is deafening, and in an instant, it's gone.
Son of a bitch. Starts reassembling the pistol that he'd taken apart before.
All right.
Reloads it. Stands up. Gets dressed, puts on his holsters, the whole his normal routine, aside from the calisthenics and all that. Don't have time for that today. And he goes out the door.
All right. And you go about your daily business as you wait for the 29th to come around. We jump to Alistair, who makes his phone call home. And you hear the familiar voice of Jonathan. He just answers, "King Residence, how can I help you?"
Hey, bro.
Oh, shit. Allie?
Yeah.
Fuck. We thought you died.
Can't get rid of me that easy.
Yeah. How you been?
You know,
Where you been?
it's a story for a different time. You seen Sarah?
Not since she ran away with David.
Do you know where they went?
No. She got into it hard with the old man, and Dave stood up for her, and you know how he can be. And two of them were gone that night.
How's mom and the old man doing?
Mom's good. She's here if you want to talk to her. Pops is in the hospital.
Couldn't happen to a nicer asshole.
You hear what sounds like the phone shifting from one ear to the other, and he's like, "Look, I know you two never got along, but this looks bad. This is Mom's doing awfully bad thinking about it. I already met with the lawyer. Do you want me to move around some stuff in the will? Because he didn't leave you anything."
No. I'm doing all right. Just give mom my love. I gotta go. And he won't even wait for a response. He hangs up.
Okay.
And he'll kind of just instinctively reach for the hip flask. Take a quick drink as his brain is trying to wrap around the fuckery of Sarah and David not being home. He honestly cares more about mom not doing well than dad doing poorly. But he's more so invested in whatever's going on with Sarah and David. And then I imagine the only other things I think he would be doing in the downtime is that night he would probably try to reach out to his avatar, being a dragon and Alistair's history of chasing them. It is usually less than receptive to being reached out to. It just kind of does what it wants. But he will kind of just sort of like reach out to it and just kind of like a hope you're okay kind of thing. Because after the vision of like the drowning, or like the coughing up water, like he was almost drowned, it would definitely register as odd. And then he would spend the rest of the time trying to like go to that diner, trying to see if what do you call it? If like he can get any information about the man that the spirit said was David, trying to see if like anybody in that diner remembers him. Try to see if I can get information about like if he said anything or if anybody heard anything. And then trying to. So do I know which of the names from the first one this one might have been?
Oh,
Okay.
none of the locations were tied to the names.
Okay. How if there's, but there is like there's some sort of like identification as to who these people are.
Yeah. Eventually, pictures will be released and attached to the names. And as far as the first round of murder victims, I use the term loosely. By this point, you will have seen pictures of them attached to their names. And none of them are Sarah or David.
Yeah.
None of them are Lydia's ex-boyfriend. None of them are the old drill sergeant. And especially none of them are the other member that kind of glitched out of the Roots family. And as we prepare for the events of the 29th and the letter coming in for the 30th, I think this is a good time to take our break.
Real quick, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do I recognize the face from going back and talking with the spirit as to who that lady would be, or is that a next day sort of thing?
We can do that when we come back from break.
Okay.
And we will be right back in 10 minutes. Enjoy this break.
Ooh, and we're back with some more Mage. We're going to open up on the 29th of October, towards the evening, once all the events of the day have happened, the mysterious drownings have taken place, and somewhere Jim Croce's Time in a Bottle is playing, helping somebody get through whatever they need to get through. Does anybody have anything they want to do once the names are announced?
I mean, I outside of just trying to see if any of them already, like the stuff from previous, if the face that I saw going back links up to a name, and if that name means anything to me. But other than that, I think Alistair would only reach out again to the Avatar, especially now that there's been a series of drownings and he saw the Avatar coughing up water before the drownings.
The name attached to the image of the girl that you saw on the crosswalk is Gertrude Thatcher.
Okay.
She's labeled as being single and a teacher's assistant over at South Miami High. The interesting thing about the names that were released this evening, as far as like the 10 drownings have happened, they've been released more or less within an hour of the situation that led to the crime in question. And so there's a lot less red tape, it looks like, with these people. It looks like the police department is considering these to be connected to the initial 10 that were also spontaneously combusted. But at this point, they're also not ruling out that these could have just been accidents. But there is a widower who is a retired police officer. There's somebody who was a single college student, a single waitress from out of town, a single college student, a mother of two, and construction worker, secretary or assistant, a single bouncer from the Limelight, a mother of one who was a receptionist, a divorced military vet, a single hostess at the Mutiny, and a married grad school student are among the newly deceased.
I think I imagine Alistair would definitely reach out to Victor just to see if he'd ever heard about anything with this like rituals with people being drowned and exploding.
There's a quiet moment as you relay the information that you have to him. He just comes back and he's just like, man, just get the fuck out of that city, bro. It sounds like it's fucking danger zone all the way. Like, Kenny Loggins wrote about this fucking city.
You are not fucking kidding. Yeah, I mean, Alistair will hang up.
Okay.
Because clearly Victor knows slightly less than he does in this situation, which makes Victor, like several times in their history, completely fucking useless. And yeah, I just think Alistair would be like, he doesn't really have anything in like terms of contacts for trying to look into people, but he would definitely be like, I mean, he might go to, I don't know, like public records or like trying to get a hold of whatever information he can on who this Gertrude was, see if there's some sort of connection.
No.
But past that, he would just be waiting for the time on the invitation.
Does Anita call home once she finds out about Anastasia?
Yeah, Anita probably would have called home, especially since she told her dad she would check on him and her mom to make sure that see how she was doing. But she also has another question to ask now too. So
Okay. If you call home, you will discover that your dad kind of answers. He sounds exhausted, exasperated. Excuse me. And he's just like, Maple Residence, how can I help you?
Dad, it's Anita.
Oh, hey. You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm just calling to check on you and Mom.
Oh, I'm on my way to see her now. She's in the hospital. Her appendix burst the other day, and we're lucky we got to her in time.
Jeez. Oh, okay. That's sucks. That's really bad, but like at least you got her to the hospital. That's survivable. That's good. It's good news.
Yeah. No, yeah, she's doing good. They got her on, liquids mostly, but yeah.
I'm sorry for this weird question, but have any of the other kids been turned up dead?
Okay, so I'm not gonna ask how you know, because that's what you and your mom do. But yeah, the Pines got a call from a coroner out in Cody, Wyoming, about Penelope's body being found out on Rattlesnake Mountain.
What? Any? Yeah, was there another? Okay, not to alarm you, but Anastasia was in Miami for some reason, and she's dead. So
Annie's dead?
Yeah, she was apparently drowned. So I wanted to call her parents, but I know you said they had moved, and I didn't know their number. So, but I was just also curious if anybody else had, I'm not trying to say that I'm not trying to be weird. I'm just curious.
No, it's fine. I mean, you couldn't have known that Penelope had been mauled by a bear or a wolf of some kind out there. Yeah, we hadn't heard from Anastasia in a while either. I think now that you mention it, I haven't heard from Susie either, or Bianca.
Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it right now, Dad. But thank you for letting me know. You should go be with Mom. Make sure she's doing okay. So
yeah, you be safe out there. It looks like it's wild.
Yeah, the world is just, it seems dangerous when you look at it, but it's really not. I'll be safe, and you be safe too. So
okay. Bye, Peanut.
Bye.
Hangs up.
She hangs up as well.
Did you get the answer you wanted?
Yeah, for the most part. Since the the avatar dream thing was showing multiple roots, and she upturned, and she knows that Anastasia's dead, and she's heard that a second one is dead, and there was 3 of them. So this is tracking. So that's what she was curious about. So it may not be necessarily beneficial to this case, but she was just curious. So.
Yeah, I get you. How is Ben and how is John Baker handling the events of the 10 new deaths?
He's honestly less concerned about that and more concerned about what's going on in his own head, truth be told.
Yeah.
He's been out walking the streets, just trying to make sense of it.
Okay. The child sightings have gotten more controlled. Before it was just sporadic, and now it's kind of like once something triggers a memory, you can rest assured that you will see the little outline of the static child. Or you will feel the hand in yours, or you'll hear him just kind of call out to you from a direction. But he's never led you into danger.
Well, that's
It's almost like he's led you to where he believes you need to be.
okay. So where is he leading me now?
That's the question. But since you've just been kind of meandering the city, you'll end up at a corner establishment. It's maybe midnight at this point, 1 o'clock in the morning. And you see what looks to be this older woman standing outside of this nondescript corner lot. There are bars on the window. There are bars on the door. And one window in particular has a neon eye that looks like it's blinking. And the other one has what looks to be tarot cards.
I'll take a walk over.
She smiles as you approach. Would you like to get your palm read, your fortune told, sir? Cheap?
Sure, what the hell?
Good. These $20 up front, please.
Reaches in, gets out his money clip. Hands her 20.
Yeah. Her smile widens even more. Like, oh, very nice. Come on in. And she opens the door for you. Madam Hoskins, you have a visitor. And you see there is a typical kind of open room. It's maybe 15 by 12. There is a single table, little round table in the center of the room. There is a crystal ball that's set on this gold and silver kind of tri-pointed holder. And there are a couple of chairs. On one wall, there is a full body mirror. On the other, lots of cloth that have just been draped down from the ceiling, and the smell of incense is heavy in the room. But you see that there is a middle-aged looking woman with a couple of strands of gray that have kind of exploded out from the temples and back into the rest of her hair. It is currently done up in a very loose braid that hangs over her right shoulder. Her hair is normally a chestnut, kind of almost auburn color. Her eyes are soft brown, like a smooth chocolate. Very little makeup. A couple of crow's feet visible at the edge of her eyes. And she's dressed in a very simple, flowy kind of pirate shirt, an open vest, a long flowing skirt. And she has a few rings spread out over her hands, and a couple of bracelets on the wrist of her right hand. Simple earrings. And she motions to the chairs that are lined up against the wall. Please pick up the chair that pleases you the most.
Kind of look at her quizzically. Kind of nods his head, ma'am, and then walks over and picks one at random. Say the third one in.
Okay. Oh, I like the choice of chair that you have chosen. How can Madam Hoskins serve you this evening?
Well, I got something on me, if you know what I'm saying. Just kind of trying to see the way forward. That makes sense to you.
She looks down at the crystal ball. She cocks her head, and she pulls out a monocle out of a pocket in her vest and puts it up to her eye. Oh, how interesting.
I'd like to make a prime roll. See
Okay.
if there's anything for real in here.
Okay. You have prime 2, so it's a very easy prime 1 effect.
I ain't seen shit. Botch.
Oh, no. So, luckily, you are only using the first level sphere, so you're going to get 2 points of paradox.
Awesome.
1 for the highest level sphere that you're using, which is level 1 prime, and then 1 more because you're doing this in front of a sleeper.
Okay.
But everything in the room radiates magic to you for a split second, and then everything just fizzles out. And in one of the other chairs, the first chair that you were going to pick before you switched to the third chair for random, you see the outline of the little static boy. And she looks at you. She looks in the direction of the little boy, and then she looks back to you. She puts the monocle away. You have unfinished business, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Don't you know it?
So, would you like me to throw the cards, or would you like me to read your palm? Is the question.
How about you throw the cards?
Oh. Very well. And she reaches underneath the table and she pulls out this oversized deck of cards. They look to be maybe 2 or 3 inches wide by like 5 inches tall. Gives it a quick shuffle. She hands it to you. She's like, please shuffle once or twice, but do not shuffle 3 times.
He doesn't split it or anything. He just kind of does the hand shuffle a couple of times and then puts it back in in front of her.
And she starts to deal out the cards in a cross pattern. And she starts to read out this whole narrative. She's like, you are a warrior, it seems. You are used to fighting all of the demons that come up against you. But you have known loss. Loss. Yes? Someone's were near and dear to you.
Might say that.
You are looking for something. You're seeking. I cannot see what it is, though. Oh. Here, this card is darkness. Something is engulfing you, threatening to drown you, as it were. You have to be careful.
No, careful is not something I can afford in my line of work.
Now, before I continue, please, and you see there's a moment where she clears her throat and her voice almost seems to reverberate around the room. It takes on this very hollow, very present tone. And she says, hand over the money in your pockets. And without even a second thought, you just pull out your money clip and whatever other accoutrements that hold your money in, and you just kind of place all of it on the table. And then she takes it from you. Thank you. Now I will finish the reading. And she talks about how you have unfinished business from what must be some kind of trauma from the war. And then she very creepily says, you should do something about that child.
The child.
And she starts to collect the cards. Yes. You know.
Any suggestions?
The door opens and the woman from outside comes in. She's like, anything else for you, sir?
No, I think I've run dry. Thank you, ma'am. Turns to the other, ma'am. And he walks out the door.
Okay. You're not a mage with mind,
No.
but you know the second you walk out, something mental happened there.
God damn it. And he starts making his way back to the apartment.
Okay. And we'll jump to Lydia after she finds these names.
Of course,
How
my
is she-
first question.
Hmm?
Any of them familiar?
Melanie Harris.
Mm-hmm. The waitress
I'd have-
from out of town.
The Rib Shack waitress who went to high school with Lydia.
When this gets announced, she's going to make her way over to the coroner's office to see if she runs into Eric.
Okay. He is there. Destroyed. Just sullen, sunken eyes. The destroyed kind of crevices of his face where he's just been crying the whole time.
She just sits down beside him, puts a hand on his shoulder.
He looks at you and he nods.
I'm so sorry, Eric.
She was, she's a good girl.
Yeah.
I left her alone for 10 minutes. And I come back and the car is full of water.
Where?
Off of US 1. We're headed to the Grove. She wanted to see the bay.
Eric, you don't owe me anything, but I want you to do me a big favor.
Yeah. Sure.
Check out of your hotel and get the fuck out of town.
As soon as I'm done with Mel, yeah. That's the plan.
Sign the papers, get the fuck out.
He gets up and walks up to the desk. Starts to fill out the paperwork. Hands over the clipboard. Once he's done, he just kind of looks over at you. I can't believe you.
Me? Just go.
Yeah. Walks up to the door. Stops. Going's been real easy for you all the time, huh? He just walks out.
She gets up. And as she walks to the door, she just mutters under her breath, "Not as easy as you think." And gets back in the car. And she heads to US 1, going towards the Grove.
Okay. It's not too difficult to find the police cruiser who's still parked next to this car that has police tape on it. There's a crime scene. There's the little numbered tents. And sure enough, inside the car, it does look like it's been on the inside of a riverbank.
Yeah, that's going to get a inspection type roll with her magic. And I'm going to spend a quintessence on this.
Oh. Which sphere are you trying to pull? Because
I want to do prime on this.
okay. So you want to see if there's any hinky shit.
I want to see if there's any hinky shit.
Okay. So that's prime 1. You have a prime focus?
I do. It is
Okay.
my keychain. It is my crystal swan on my keychain. I have that in my hand.
Okay. So then it's going to be normally difficulty 4. There are sleepers, so it goes up to 5, but you've used a quintessence point, so it brings it back down to 4.
That is 2 successes.
Okay. There is very evident use of some kind of magic. The tellurian around the car looks like it's been manipulated in some way, shape, or form. The big draw to you, though, is that whatever did this was infused with prime. This was permanent. This was meant to be something lasting.
I'm looking around the location
Mhm.
to see why Eric would have stopped.
There is a gas station on the other side of the small wall. There is a bank, and the strip mall that they've parked in has a small Chinese restaurant. It has a Kids R Us as the biggest part of the strip mall, and it has a little coffee shop and a clothing store.
Okay. When she sensed the hinky shit,
Mhm.
did it feel centralized on the car, or did it feel like it's spread or directed from a direction?
It feels like the central portion of it is in the middle of the car. It's not attached to either her or him. It was attached to the car itself.
She can do so without being suspicious. She wants to kneel down to see if she can see something under the car.
Okay. Let's make use of that
That stealth?
new stealth that you got.
Deck stealth on that one?
Deck stealth,
All
yeah.
right. I will spend a willpower to get an automatic success.
Sure. We'll say it's standard difficulty 6.
Five successes.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Definitely beats the cop's perception. You see him just kind of look around for a moment. He takes notice of you being around the car in the area. And then after a moment, he just digs into a donut, little Boston cream, and he just kind of stares off into the distance. And you take your time to kind of bend over, bend down, take a look underneath the car. It's dry under it. Like, even with the doors having been open and this car full of water, underneath the undercarriage is completely dry. It's almost like the water was
Centrally
pushed.
focused.
Yeah, and even with it being released from the car itself, it was allowed to be pushed outward.
Interesting. Huh? Okay. Lydia's going to head back to her apartment, and then she's going to do a infusion on her ordnance
Okay.
of prime.
Okay. So you are fusing all 3 of them, or just one?
Oh no, she's going for all 3. All 3 of them are going to have prime loaded. Yes, because she's taking this personally.
Okay. You will definitely have to sit there for at least a few rounds.
Oh,
to kind
yeah.
of.
She's probably going to spend a solid hour or 2 doing this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we'll say that
Because she
given
is
that amount
pissed
of
now.
yeah, given that amount of attention, we'll say that they're definitely prime infused. So let's just do one roll for each grenade of your arete, and it'll be difficulty 5.
Can I dump a quintessence on this?
If you want to do it per grenade, it'll have to be 1 per grenade, but it won't be 1 for all 3 of them.
I can do that because I can drink it back up from my node.
Okay. So yes, so that'll be difficulty 4 then.
That is 4 successes.
Okay, so how much was each one though? Like each?
The first one was 1.
Okay.
Second one was 1. Third one was 2.
Okay, so the 2 single success grenades are going to deal, we'll say 16 dice of damage, aggravated, to anyone caught within the first 3 yards of that.
Okay.
The one with the 2 successes will go up to 20.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, and as she's done, she puts them back in the bag and says, these fuckers are going to have a really nice day.
Somebody is, for sure. But the 4 of you get your invites. You meet up the next night on the 30th. And lo and behold, for John Baker, the address that you end up in is Madame Hoskins'
Madam Hoskins.
How is everyone about punctuality? Like who gets there first? Who kind of meanders in?
Alistair is 100% meandering.
Okay.
Anita is a wanderer, but she always ends up showing up on time, sort of, kind of. So
Okay.
she makes sure she's there like a minute before or a minute after, like so yeah.
All right. So Gandalf.
Like, Alistair will be like within 15 minutes of being late, so he's not like an hour or 2 late, but he's late.
Lydia will get there on time.
Okay. And what about John?
Oh, he'll get there on time
Okay.
and be
So-
glaring at the place the entire time. Because she didn't wipe his mind, so.
Again, you see the older woman that was there before, and she kind of counts the 2 of you. We'll wait until the rest have arrived.
I take it you're familiar with this place, John?
Just a little bit.
Hmm.
We've done business before.
Oh,
And under his breath, he says, I wouldn't recommend it.
didn't plan on it.
The woman at the door kind of nods as you're talking to John, and she says, "It's good to see you again, sir."
Likewise, ma'am.
At this point, Anita shows up.
I guess I was late. My apologies.
No, you're right on time, Anita.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Interesting establishment. I mean, from the outside anyway, so.
Gets even more interesting on the inside, let me tell you.
And after a few minutes, you see down the street, meandering towards you, is Alistair King. And again, the 4 of you are brought together.
And he definitely looks a little rougher than the last time you saw him. Probably hasn't shaved. So he's got like a little bit of that 5 o'clock shadow on him. Eyes are bloodshot. Yeah, and he just strolls right in, sits down without even like saying anything.
Oh, the woman at the door just does not open it until all four of you are gathered.
Okay.
And when she does, she bows at each of you very politely. It is good to have the four of you gathered here. It has come to our understanding that you had been asked to do something by the Cabal here in Miami, and we feel that perhaps you should be used to the betterment of your abilities. She opens the door. If you would like to hear us out, please go inside.
This just gets better and better, doesn't it?
I want to roll like an insight on that.
You don't trust some European NPCs?
Oh, I don't trust any of your NPCs, ST.
Not like you're dealing with Vasily or anything.
Didn't trust him either, but I got the fucking goods.
So Anita's headcanon, she's interacted with some other spoopy stuff at different times in her wanderings. Is there any sort of is there a role I can do to kind of see if there's any tells or anything that can kind of tip me off that something specific might be going on?
For an insight type of role, you can roll perception and awareness.
Okay.
Can I use mind to like check her surface thoughts?
You can certainly try.
Okay, how does willpower work?
Willpower is you can use a point to give you an automatic success on any one roll.
So I can use only one or multiples?
One.
Okay. I'm going to use one so that I can get rid of these double ones and cancel her out then. I've got a 7 and 8, a 5 and 2 ones, but I want to use a willpower to turn one of the ones into a success. So.
Okay, so it just cancels it out.
Okay.
So yeah, what did Lydia get?
I rolled perception subterfuge, and I got 4 successes.
Okay.
I mean, I would have preferred to roll occult instead of awareness, but
there's nothing spoopy happening just yet. The two of you, in your own ways, see that although she's not being shady per se, the fact that she knows that you've been contacted by the Miami Cabal, and this is not a mage, this is not a person that has been declared a mage by the Cabal or a member of the Cabal at all, is definitely raising some hairs on the back of your neck.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Alistair, what did he get?
What was the difficulty?
We'll say it is a difficulty mind 1. We'll say 4, since there's no real sleepers around.
Since surface thoughts is 2, correct? Or is that 1?
No, surface thoughts is just 1.
Okay.
Probing is when you start to get to 2.
Okay. I got 2 successes.
Okay.
I roll irritate, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I got 2 successes.
There is a wall. The second you start to kind of scan to see just whatever might be on the top of the mind, there is this very hard stone wall that you hit, and there is just a blank.
Makes a note of it and just waits for the others.
You're right, John. This does just keep getting better. And she walks in.
Anita actually like bows to the person when she enters, like they bowed to her. So
Okay. John?
Yes. Oh, I walk in.
Okay. So all four of you walk in. The room is completely different than when John remembers it. There's no crystal ball. There's no table. There's only a high-backed rattan chair. Very kind of like a cobra's hood open. The woman who introduced herself as Madame Koskins is there sitting, and as you enter, the woman outside comes in, closes the door behind you, and the older woman in the rattan chair stands up. Well, I am glad that the four of you received my summons and that you have arrived. This pleases me. I have a task for the four of you. I think it's a task that you might enjoy, given what has been done to you and how you have been misused by those in power.
Misused, you say?
And she smiles and she throws the money clip, the empty money clip at you.
Catches it.
You left it here the other day.
So I did. Puts it in his pocket.
Is this a task that interests you?
Alistair will like raise his hand. He's like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but who the fuck are you?
And Lydia legit giggles at that.
She smiles.
Smirks.
My name is Madame Gregoria Hoskins. I am a fortune teller, gypsy blooded. I am not a member of any cabal, if that is what you're asking.
I'm more so wondering who you are to summon us.
Oh, I am hoping to be a benefactor of yours.
What is the task?
I would like you to, and I have, and she pulls out 4 envelopes. They are a dark red, almost purple color. There is a symbol on it that none of you really recognize, and they are all kind of wax sealed. But she says, I have 4 invitations to the Halloween extravaganza at the Vizcaya tomorrow. I would like you to go there and deal with an enemy of mine who has prevented me from doing more good for the city, as it were.
So who is this enemy and what's in it for us?
Well, I am prepared to offer you monetary recompensation if that is what you would like, but I know some of you don't have a need for money in particular. So I can offer some of you, and she pulls out what looks to be a bag of, for lack of a better term, Skittles that are maybe the size of a human thumb. She's like, I believe that you can turn this into tasks. Those of you that are skilled with crime, at least.
Can I check to see if anything resonates off of them?
You sure can. That's a simple prime roll, prime 1. There are technically no sleepers in the room, so it is difficulty 5.
That is 2 successes. That was a 7 and an 8.
Nice. They resonate with power, but it's not a power you've ever used before. Like they can each be turned into a thing of tasks, but whatever they are right now is something that you've never seen before. It is some ritualistic effect that has done something to it, but you can definitely see that it is cleric in some way.
And Lydia's just looking at the bag, real funny.
Sorry, I'm not a native or have been in Miami for very long. Where is the Volskaya, you said?
The Vizcaya is just off of the bay in the south part of town, south of the Biltmore Hotel, if you are familiar with that landmark.
Is it attached to the Biltmore, or is it just...
Oh, no, it is his own residence. It is quite nice. I highly recommend you visiting it during the day. It's very pleasant. The gardens are magnificent.
Okay, I will see if I can wander my way down there one of these days then. So, I guess I'm still curious. I mean, I'm not adverse. I'm just curious why you or did my mind wander? I didn't think you didn't give us a why.
I don't know how familiar you are with the history of the city, but there has been some, shall we say, shenanigans that have taken place here, and I blame a certain group of people who have undoubtedly misused you and your skills in some way, shape, or form. I don't blame you, I blame them entirely. But I believe that for the good of the city, Professor Elias Wilden has to be taken care of.
Interesting.
That's quite the spin.
Alistair will instinctively pull the hip flask out of his fanny pack and start drinking. Because Anita has kind of a funky vibe, she just wants to do life 1 to see what kind of like life is coming. She wants to see who in the room is alive.
Okay.
Or does life 1 tell her what kind of alive they are? If they're
life 1 will tell you who is alive in the room.
Okay. Well,
yeah, and that'll be an easy roll. There's no real sleepers around, so it's going to be difficulty 4.
2 successes.
Okay. Technically, all of the beads in the bag are alive. The woman at the door is alive, but the woman giving you this task and holding the envelopes is not alive.
Okay. So, first question: what the fuck is the bag? And second question: what the fuck is that bag? Because you're something different.
Oh, yes. I never purported to be anything.
I understand, but you're not. Sorry, everybody. She's not alive. So
Lydia's going to check life on that.
Since you're not purporting to be anything, and you apparently know everything about us, and we know nothing about you, I feel like it was only fair to share that with my compatriots. So.
Oh, no, of course. I understand. The only reason I know anything about all of you is because of your custodier. And the woman at the door kind of nods. But yeah, Lydia also sees that every little bead has some semblance of life, but she herself is not alive.
Does life
But-
2 give me any further insight?
Ooh.
I got 2 9s on this.
The only thing that you can get out of that is that the beads are made of blood.
Okay. While I appreciate your concern over our mistreatment, I will have to refuse your offer.
I understand. Do the rest of you feel this way?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you are. This is nothing I'm interested in. And immediately Alistair is like playing in his head over and over again the phone conversation with Victor of just get the fuck out.
She smiles and she's like, if it would make you feel better, I can tell you that I am mostly closely related to you above everything else, Mr. King. We are both hermetic of a sort.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Said my house did something about immortality. We took it. Mr.
So
King.
this is, I clearly know what the fuck this is. Would Alistair and his bullshit introduction through Victor into Hermetics have any idea about like the history of Hermetics and
Not if Victor was the one that brought you in.
Alistair like instinctively takes like a few steps backwards.
Okay.
And takes like another swig off of the flask. And as he's putting the flask back in the fanny pack, he instinctively reaches for his Zippo.
It's like she nods and she kind of takes a step back. It is understandable. I was willing to offer you true power, but I see that it's not for you, Miss Maple.
Okay, but seriously, why do you want us to kill the professor? I know you're going to be like, why should I tell you my master plan if you're just going to walk out the door? But
There is no master plan. It's just he is a nuisance. He is mistreating the mages of the city, and we would be better off with him dead.
You would be better off with him dead.
mistreating the Nadia's going to take a few steps towards her, and she's just going to say, "Nefandus." What does that fucking mean?
You hear the door lock behind you, and the woman who is standing there manifests a Roman gladius out of thin air.
Lydia legit unzips her fucking fanny pack and puts a grenade in her hand. Do we really want to play?
I wasn't, Anita's looking at, I wasn't trying to be rude. I was told there was a second vampire in this city that was trying to do something, and I think we all know what they're trying to do. And I was also told the word Nefandus, and I don't know what the fuck it means. And time seems to be short, and you're telling us to go kill one of the city's, higher ups. So I'm confused.
And like while all of this is going on, Alistair's head is literally like bouncing back and forth between a grenade, the word vampire, whatever the fuck this lady in front is who knows my tradition. And Alistair is like literally trying to figure out if he's still high on something.
And as the Mexican standoff kicks off in earnest, I think this is a good point to call it for tonight. So,
Jesus Christ.
well, thank you guys for tonight's episode.
And thank you to the RPG table for the $20 donation. We have now raised enough to help 7 people get free mammograms for people that are in need. Thank you all so much for your generosity and desire to help people. Absolutely. Now, give me just a minute to pull up the schedule. But definitely, if you enjoyed this content, give us a follow here on Twitch. If you have the availability, you can give us a subscribe. Or if you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription a month. You may consider giving that to us. If you enjoyed what these players did, including the storyteller, Ravnos Archon here, you can give bits to them and we will distribute them amongst the players here at the table. I don't get a bit of the bits. It goes to everyone else at the table. Also, if you enjoy the content you've seen tonight, check out our back content on YouTube. Those links are now in chat. And if you want to give a donation, all donations are actually going to National Breast Cancer Foundation this month. So please, please, please donate to National Breast Cancer Foundation if you would like to contribute to that cause. We appreciate your generosity in doing so. Check out our friends, one of which is Ravnos Archon. He streams multiple games a week on his own channel. He's a fantastic storyteller. He almost got tears out of me tonight. Almost. It came real close. So definitely check out our friends for amazing TTRPG content, one of which is the RPG table who gave us a donation tonight. And thank you guys so much again for that. Seriously, love you guys. And coming up merch. We have merch available in the store. We do not have any Mage merch, but I swear to God, we're going to have to start making some. I think we need like some cool 80s sunglasses on with like explosions reflecting in the mirrored lenses. Absolutely. And then hang on just a second. Let me pull up my actual schedule. So coming up this week, we actually do not have any streams tomorrow or Thursday, but Friday. Do join us at 8 p.m. Eastern for Zas Urkala. You will see myself and Timber Brad down here, both in that, run by Shanky. It is a very dark one-shot where we basically play endlings that are the last lone survivors of their worlds that basically reality just blew apart and we end up in the underworld. So join us there. There's going to be lots of death, lots of reliving. We've got multiple character sheets because we know we're going to die a lot. And it's guaranteed to get dark. And then on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, join us for London Esoteric Society. That is our Call of Cthulhu 7E stream run by our DM Tiss. She is amazing. Check out the cult stuff at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Then on Sunday, we have Windy City After Dark, Season 4, Episode 7. Y'all, the coterie's done taken out. Freaking demon flesh suit of a thin blood. There is a list and we are going through it for real. Watch this last half of the season. The coterie is tired of the bullshit. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Then on Monday, it is the finale of Haunted Chronicles with Tamshu. They lost like 3 people last session. 3 characters last session. I'm not sure if any of them are going to survive. For real. Y'all need to check that out, 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday. And then, of course, on Tuesday, we are back here for the last session of Mage, Neon Tempest. You got a freaking ecstatic with a goddamn grenade in her hand that has a smiley face on it, fused with primal energy.
and you've got the least happy person that we're dealing with at Tremere, only wanting to destroy this bitch before he gets turned. That's it. What Alistair does is different. But what I want.
I'll remember not to kick in the celerity then.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back here at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. So thank you everyone so much for joining us. And we at McStabber Studios want you to take care of yourselves, really. If you are struggling with mental health, I know pandemic stuff has been rough and just everything has kind of just been rough in the past year or two. Take care of yourself. If you've got friends or family or loved ones that you can reach out to that you feel that you get some support from, reach out to them. You know, be there for your own friends and family and loved ones because they may need to hear your voice. Otherwise, if you are seriously struggling and in crisis, right now in chat, there are numbers available for you to reach out to either by phone or by text to get support that you need. And also, if you are outside of the U.S., there is a link to a website where you can put in your country and it'll pull up helplines that are available for you wherever you are. And the final link in that list is for National Breast Cancer Foundation. You can find out what National Breast Cancer Foundation does. They are actually a boots-on-the-ground foundation for breast cancer support and basically helping to provide services and cover gaps in care and support that are out there in the medical community for people dealing with breast cancer. They provide coordination, they provide resources, they provide mammograms for screenings. They do all sorts of really great work throughout the entire process from screening to all the way to end stage of disease for people. It is amazing the work they do. And then also, lastly, I, Mama McStabber, am the nicest mean nurse you'll ever meet. And I'm sitting here with Timber Brad, the meanest nice nurse you'll ever meet. And we're going to tell you, go get your freaking vaccines, get your COVID shots, get your flu shot, take care of yourself so you don't get sick and don't get others sick this winter. Please.
Please, please, please.
Please. Much love to y'all, and y'all have a wonderful evening.
Good night. Thank you.